Hey there! In today's video, we're going to dive into two important concepts in JavaScript, hoisting and temporal dead zone. These concepts can sometimes be confusing, but don't worry, we'll break them down and give you examples to help you understand. Let's start with hoisting. In JavaScript, when we declare a variable or a function, something interesting happens behind the scenes. The JavaScript engine actually moves those declarations to the top of their respective scopes. This behavior is called hoisting. Take a look at this code. You might expect an error here. However, due to hoisting, the variable declaration of x is moved to the top, and that's why we don't get an error. But remember, only the declarations are hoisted, not the actual assignments or function definitions. So, while you can use a variable before declaring it, its value will be undefined until it's assigned a value. To avoid confusion, it's generally a good practice to declare your variables at the beginning of your code or a specific scope, even though JavaScript will hoist them for you. Now, let's talk about temporal dead zone. It's a period when variables declared with let and cons are inaccessible, even though they have been declared. It's like a waiting period before you actually use them. Look at this code snippet. In this case, we get a reference error because we're trying to access y before its declaration. Unlike var, variables declared with let and cons are not hoisted to the top of the scope until the line of code where they are declared is reached. To avoid temporal dead zone, declare your variables before using them. In this way, JavaScript knows you are ready to use them and everything works smoothly. So, to recap, hoisting moves variable and function declarations to the top of their respective scopes, allowing us to use them before their actual declarations in the code. However, their values are still undefined until assigned. On the other hand, the temporal dead zone occurs with variables declared using let and cons. They can't be accessed until their declaration statement is reached. Understanding hoisting and temporal dead zone is essential for writing reliable and error-free JavaScript code. By being aware of these behaviors, you will have a solid foundation for working with variables in JavaScript. Thanks again for watching and we'll see you in the next video. Happy coding!